thank you so much for tuning in today for another exciting series of interviews. I've been hosting this since 2009. And I tell you, when I come across a jewel, a treasure, somebody that's doing some major things, somebody that has a great testimony, I like to shine a light on them. And so today, I'm from Compton. Come on, somebody. A West Coast girl right here, Compton, Compton, Compton. And I recently came across the path of a young man who was speaking at a Black History program and found out we were so connected in so many ways. I want you to welcome with me today the godfather of the West Coast hip hop, Lonzo Williams.
Hey, how you doing, dear?
So good to have you. And I love how you just follow up. You don't play. I love that.
No, I can't afford to play. I'm too old to play, baby. I quit
That's
school. I quit school because they had recess.
right. I love that. I love that. But let me just share with my audience really quickly who you are, just in case they've been sleeping under a rock. Uh, like thousands of people that sat on the edge of their seat waiting for the halftime show at the recent Super Bowl, which is the eighth time that it's been in California. Compton and California were well represented. And we saw Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Eminem and Mary J. Blige and all of the artists dancing and crip walking and beating the drums and singing. And they were standing on the stage of iconic locations in Compton, where Lonzo and I grew up. And one of them was called Eve After Dark. And guess what? Lonzo is was the manager of Eve After Dark. So man, that just must have resuscitated you and gave you an injection
You know,
of empowerment to see your business highlighted on a world stage, 112 million viewers.
yeah. I was at the Super Bowl. I had the fortunate. I was fortunate enough to go to the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
And I was with a group of people, but I got separated from it right before halftime, and I was in a little private room with a bunch of folks that I did not know. And
Uh,
one guy knew who I was, but he wasn't. He didn't understand when I screamed and started wiping my eyes. He had no idea what was going on. But you all right, boss? I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. That dude got me. He got me. He got me. And to see the club that I ran for over 40 years, I just retired from the Eve in 2019. Um,
what?
1979 to 2019, I had a relationship with the owner and the club. I kept he never took my keys from me. I always kept my keys, no matter what we were doing. I left went to do the old skate land, had clubs in Hollywood Park Casino, my own club, Current Affair. But I would still come back and do events from time to time, and we always maintained a relationship. And in 2019, he finally he got a little. It was a little elderly, and he got sick. And he says, "Man, you know what? I'm shutting it down." And I'm here. Here your keys go. And we parted ways in after 40 years. And to see Dre acknowledge that, where everything started for West Coast hip hop. That's where it all
Mm.
started. Right there on the corner of Avalon and El Segundo was fantastic. And to choose that platform of the Super Bowl halftime show to do that, it just made me and all the Compton scream and
All the
just
content.
stuck out. And there, why are you walking so tall, Lonzo? Don't worry about it.
And I grew up right around the corner of Avalon and El Segundo.
Where'd you grow up
And
at?
I grew up, first of all, 136 in Parmalee, right near Dudos. I had to walk
Okay.
past Dudos every day to go to
Okay.
Vanguard. And
Okay.
then we moved to 154th in Avalon.
Okay. All right.
So Eve After Dark was like a banquet hall
Right.
upstairs, and
Right.
there was no drinks for the young people.
Right.
And right below were the adults drinking all the brown water.
Right. They drink that brown liquor down there. And we first got there, Jeff, they had us come through the alley by the gas station. That was our entrance for years. I mean, for the first few years. And it worked out for us very well. And because he didn't want the clientele from downstairs to get confused with the people upstairs. They didn't want the cops, didn't want because sometimes some people don't like partying with their kids. And most people don't want their kids to see what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where sometimes mama would drop the kids off in the alley and go around to the front of the club and hang out.
That
Okay.
is so funny. That is so funny. But you
True
know what I
story.
want what I want you to share real quickly is I love the story of how your father thought that you were doing something crazy and illegal, and got you into the entrepreneurship. You didn't even know that was happening. Can you tell them real quickly how that happened?
Yeah, I was a young DJ, just left broadcast school, started doing dances. Me and my buddy started doing dances at the Alpine Village, and where I lived off of Carlton Avenue and Main Street, a lot of the guys sold dope. And my mother had just passed. I was living in her house, and my
Mm-hmm.
dad came to the house. It was technically his house. He came into the house, walked in on me. I got a pile of money on the bed. He just knew I went to the dark side. He wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Pops, don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I didn't get
Mm-hmm.
the money illegal. I got it from doing parties. What? Doing where? Alpine Village. And he knew where Alpine Village was. We
I
passed.
remember that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, I'm doing another dance in 2 weeks. Come on by, see what I'm doing, and you'll see what I got going on. And my old man did. He came in. We had a great night, and he pulled me to the side later that night, and asked about the business part of it. You paying how much money for one night? What I was paying for one night was his whole paycheck for a month. Okay, one night. And I see, yeah. So he said, I'm gonna see what I can do. He took me up to his friend. Now, here's the crazy part about Eve After Dark. Eve After Dark was owned by Jeffrey Harris, who lived up the street from me. I could literally look in my front yard and see his house. My dad, Jeffrey was in construction. My dad was in landscaping. They did business together, and my old man also drank at Jeffrey's, so they were buddies. He took me up to Jeffrey's, took me upstairs to his office, and Mr. Jeffrey is a nice guy, but he looks like he's mean. He's one of them faces that like, what you want, okay? 6'4", tall cat. And I'm going to his office, him and my dad talking. They start pouring liquor. I'm sitting there, 21 years old, nervous, okay? And they cut a deal. And I'm thinking I'm going to get a club once or twice a month. And Jeffrey say, if you want it, you got to take it every week. Huh? Every week. And that's how it came out. And my old man said, hey, what you want to do? And I made a few phone calls and I put it together. And that was how it all started. But I hired people on my block. Most of the people that worked at Eve in the beginning were from my neighborhood.
Yes.
They were
And
all
wasn't Dr. Dre was from Compton?
Dr. Dre was from Compton. Dr. Dre's dad lived on my street. Okay. His mom and other ladies, little bit older folks, and my older sister, they all hung around my house and on the street. So they all knew each other. So it was no big deal for me to have other folks from between Avalon and Main Street to work at Eve After Dark. And that was primarily the people that worked at Eve. You pretty much live between Avalon and Main. Yeah.
So is that how the World Wrecking Crew was formed with you, Dr. Dre, and DJ Yella, and I can't think of the other person. Clientele.
Clientele. Not actually, because I had some other DJs at first that was from my neighborhood, and they kind of moved on. And then by the time I started promoting shows with Run DMC and Curtis Blow, that's when I got the idea to make records. And by that time, Yella had joined, and Clientele and Dre came along, and I started making records. And my company name at that time was called Disco Construction. I started in the disco era. My first name was Disco Lonzo. Okay. And one of my buddies, so you Disco Construction, they must be the Wrecking Crew. And that
is cool. Okay. I love hearing how things got started. That's how I got started.
And by this time, that started in like 81, 82. By 84, we were making records. And in the same year, we made our first record in 84 with the Olympics in LA. And I got a letter from my lawyer saying, there's a group in Chicago go by the Wrecking Crew. You can't use that name. So I called my lawyer up, and I kept hearing this term, world-class runner, world-class swimmer, world-class gymnast. I said, hey, man, if I add the term world-class and mess up the spelling, could we use it? And that's how you got world-class record with no G, CRU.
Yeah, I love that.
We started
so sitting on the couch and hearing da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, and seeing Snoop Dogg crip walking across that stage, and seeing Tams, and seeing Eve After Dark, it just ran chills through my body, because even though I don't live in Compton anymore, I've never been ashamed of coming from Compton. Okay. And to see Compton on a world stage, to see that they did not water down their lyrics or their performance. They stayed true to the game. What do you think was the significance of Compton being so highlighted in front of 112 viewers? What do you think that said to the world?
Well, you know what? Compton has been city of focus for quite some time. Compton is always when it came out of Compton, it
Yeah,
pretty much affected the world. And that
yeah,
that was one of the things we did when it came to music. When music came out of Compton, gangster rap and the lifestyle of the lowrider cars and the various things that became part of their culture, it affected everybody. It affected the East Coast, West Coast, Japan, Denmark. It affected everybody. And
yes.
people wanted to be like Compton. Okay. People wanted to be like Compton. No ask
And
me.
you know, and the reason I want to interview today is because people need to realize that good people and good things come out of Compton, not just the music, but lawyers and doctors and athletes and Olympic winners and my God, just so many creative, dynamic leaders come out of Compton. And I think for me, it was shifting the perspective that only negative things came out of Compton.
You know what? As a grown man that's semi-retired, one of my personal goals is to create a Compton Walk of Fame or a museum.
All
Okay.
right now.
I,
Okay.
I'm a part of the 125 Historical Society with Pastor Brown and the First Lady. And
Hmm.
I've spoke at several events, and I've gone to several events, and to hear some of the stories
I
about
know.
the Compton basketball team, 66-0, longest undefeated record in CIF history. But we don't know about it. Why? Because the CIF wouldn't give them that credit because they was black.
Mm,
I met a Olympic gold medalist Saturday at the event. Okay,
right.
lady was a couple years. I think she's the same age as I am. Okay, she might have
Mhm.
been maybe a year or two younger. I'm not sure, but she ran the Olympics and she's a gold medalist.
Medalist, yes.
I'm trying to figure out where was the parade and why didn't she have a statue someplace? Okay, and it goes on and on. We
And,
got people that played in NFL, NBA, lawyers and doctors, and so much rich history has come through Compton. It's like a secret.
yes.
I'm
Yes.
telling the secret though. If God
That's it.
God give me the strength, I'm telling the secret. I'm working on that right as we speak. I'm telling the secret.
Amen.
And I
We've
think
got
that's something
we
that's
got we got those that were educated there and came back to be teachers and
yes,
principals,
yes.
mentors, business owners, entrepreneurs. And I understand you've written books and you're going to have a documentary. So
I
tell us
wrote,
about that.
I wrote a book called NWA, Not Without Alonzo. Okay. And
I love it.
and it came out in 2015. I'm still doing book signings. Yella, my partner Yella just wrote a book. Clientele wrote a book. So the three of us, we may not be touring on stage right now, but we're doing book signing collectively. We have one in Riverside we're doing in a couple of weeks. Um, it's just so much. We've done so much more. We've done so much more, and no disrespect to nobody. We've done more than Venus. We've done more than Serena, more than Dre, more than Kendrick. We're bigger than all that, and
Collectively.
collectively we are a powerful city that does not get any shine. It's like for some reason somebody turned off the valve when it came to getting the
Yes.
where's the shine at? But when you
Yes.
when you look up and some negativity happened, the valve gates, the floodgates
There
get
you go.
the
You're
floodgates
so
get open.
right. You're
Okay.
so right. You're
And
so right.
as a grown ass man, that's like I said, semi-retired, it's my duty to open the gates of floodgates of positivity. I noticed on Saturday. That's when we met again. I've met you before, but we reconnected Saturday.
Mhm.
And I walked around, I stopped what I was doing, walked around. I didn't see no gangbangers.
No, it
You
was
know,
beautiful.
bloods. I saw black people enjoying a city event. It was a family affair. Kids were there, and I didn't see
Mhm.
nobody tripping. And but the problem was there was no cameras there to see. The Compton does have a wholesome side. Okay,
Yes, it does. I saw the
so
beautiful
you know,
park.
gangster and wholesome. We just want to eat some tacos, drink some expensive ass soda, and walk around and buy some stuff that we probably don't need. No way. But hey, this is Black History Month. We're gonna do this. And
Yeah, I saw the beautiful car show and all the vendors and My sister did her poetry, and what struck me when you spoke, Lonzo, and because I'm a mother of sons, and I have a husband of 52 years, and we are very intentional about family unity, and that we wanted uh, our sons not to be statistics,
Right.
that their father was very present in their lives. And so when you told the story how your father took you by the hand, set you up for entrepreneurship, how many young men came through Eve After Dark that probably looked at you as a father or a brother because they didn't have fathers?
You know something, babe? And I'm sorry. Here's something, Jewel. When I look back, Dre, Yella, Q, Clientele, all of them had dads, but I never met them. To this day,
Oh,
I never met them.
oh, wow.
I've never met them. And when I look back, not only from the Eve After Dark, but even the house that I own, I bought it from Johnny Otis, the blues singer. My
Hmm.
house has been has I've had a studio. I bought it because it had a studio in it, and the number of young men that have come through my house and the studios and the clubs is tremendous. And only a handful I ever met their dads.
Hmm.
And I found myself in a lot of times being the homie, the big homie, the big brother, the boss, the studio owner, bandmate, club owner, co-DJ. So
Wow.
sometimes wearing all them hats can create conflict. Because even as a mother, as
Oh,
much as you love your sons, you can't be their friends. Sometimes you're gonna make some decisions that they're not
that's right.
gonna like.
That's right.
They're gonna be mad at you for a minute. You might have put hands on them, put a belt on them. I don't know how you discipline your kids, but you may do something that they ain't gonna like you for a little while, okay? But you know, as a grown woman, that's the best thing for this particular moment, okay? And you'll take this lesson and you'll learn from it. And that was my role. But because I was close in age to him, but I had a lot of influence from older gentlemen.
Influence. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was raised. Jeffy, my old man was a gardener. He worked for Caltrans. He got me a job at Caltrans. I did not like that. I wanted to be in the DJ business. He didn't understand that, but he found me somebody that understood what I was trying to do.
I love
I
it.
wanted to
I
get
love
in the record business. I moved around the corner to do those. Old man Dootsy Williams gave me all kind of information about the record business and distribution because he had what I wanted. Okay, and
See, now that's a business strategy. That's a life lesson for those that are listening that want to be in business. You got to get close to the right people. You have to get close. You got to get in the environment. You got to have the courage to step out of a comfort zone, and that's what you did. What other business lessons could you pass on that you learned the hard way, or you learned it was just intuitive, or you had a model, you had a mentor, you read books? How did you share us with us some of your pearls of wisdom?
Jeffy told me something a long time ago. Do what you love for a living, and you'll never work harder day in your life.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Give people what they need, and they'll always need you.
All
Okay.
right. I love that.
And lead, follow, get out of the way.
Yes, yes.
Lead,
Lead.
follow, get out of the way. There's three
Mm-hmm.
positions you can be in: the front, the middle, or behind waving. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
and don't just get involved in something, and because some people will get involved in something they don't want to be left behind, but they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna they're not an asset. They're not a they're not an asset. They're not really a liability. They have zero impact. And they just taking up.
Zero. Just
Okay.
taking up space.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to learn to just discharge those people and replace them with somebody who's going to be an asset to what you're doing. And I never forget one time he showed me this chart. He took a pencil and a piece of paper and made a chart, a graph. In the middle of the graph was zero. Okay. Um, everybody's calling me right now. In the middle of the
Oh,
graph, everybody was in the middle of the graph was zero. And he says, when you're working with people, that you got zero.
yeah.
If they don't have a car, you lose one. If they don't have a place to stay, you lose another one. If they don't have money, you lose another one. Okay. And I said, now if you give them money, a car, and a place to stay, all you got is zero. Okay, you still at zero. But if they have a car and a place to stay, or they may need is a couple of dollars and you winning. Okay. And he told me, said, man, take that scale and use that in all type of situations, whether you're dealing with a relationship, business partner, whatever, because you got to go pick somebody up from work and feed them. It's a difference between help and assistance.
There you go. I love that.
You told me it's a
I
difference.
remember I remember hearing years ago, the best way to help a broke person is not to be
Not
one.
be one of them. Okay. Not be one of them. So if you can assist somebody and go into the next step, that shows they're making an effort. Okay.
That's right.
But
That's
some
right.
people will just sit back and want to play on your pity. They need help. And next thing you know, you do all this right here and they just got to zero. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just everybody's calling me at the same time. That's just one of those are some of the lessons I've learned over the years, darling. And I apply them today. I apply right now. I'm working on something. Like I said, I feel Compton needs a Walk of Fame. And as I talk about this, more and more people say, you know what, Lonzo, get them what you need. I'm right there with you. Okay. And now it's my job to lead that, to make that happen. Okay.
I can tell you that you're a collaborator. That's wonderful. You are a collaborator. You know, we can't do anything by ourselves, but we want to line up with people that are on the same energy level, the same vibe, the same passion, the same focus, the same integrity. And when you line yourself with those kind of people, you know, the momentum begins to happen.
Yes.
And I love the concept. I tell people sometimes, you know, the diamond lane on the freeways was named after me, because if you get in the diamond lane with people that are traveling with you, you'll go further. But if you're over there trying to do it all by yourself, you're in the slow lane. You got to align yourself with people in the diamond lane that are moving in the same direction, have the same purpose, the same focus, and you will bypass those that are moving slow and trying to do it all by themselves.
And you know, I learned to deal with haters.
Yeah.
And a lot of times haters will just get envious of the energy that you're able to put into a situation because they didn't do it. Okay. Some people get comfortable and they let you they see you doing different things. And why did I think of that? Well, come on and be a part of it. You ain't got to be mad at me because I did. Just come on and be a part of it. No, it ain't your baby, but you can damn sure you can damn sure be a part of it. You know, I've learned to deal with that. And as you get older, and that's one thing about getting older, and I love getting older because all the education I have, it didn't come with no experience. Now I got experience. Okay.
Yeah,
I affected the world once by accident. I had no idea what I was doing. It just happened. Now I know how to do it again.
Now you know how to do it again.
I know how to do it again.
And ended up on the world stage at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg dancing on Eve After Dark. And that was a shout out to you, letting you know that you were not forgotten, that you were a valuable part of his journey. And that just blows me away, because sometimes people don't acknowledge. They just keep moving forward, kick the dust off, and just they act like they did it all by themselves. But that took my respect level for him even higher.
Yes, I sent him a couple of videos, and I reached out. I was trying to get to him before the Super Bowl. I wanted to get a picture with him or whatever, but I see why I couldn't get to him. I ain't mad. I'm not. Trust me, I am not mad. Okay.
How can people get to you for your upcoming book signing, to get your books, to learn about the documentary? I would imagine you're also like a mentor. Do you go around to colleges and speak to young people?
I'm doing USC tomorrow. I just did a elementary school on Monday. I enjoy sharing my knowledge, my experiences, because somebody did it for me. Okay,
that's right. We have to
realize how important that was. That 30 minutes he spent in that class had a lifelong effect on me. Okay, and I didn't realize it till I thought about it. That's what made me want to go into the entertainment business. This one guy visited us on a career day. I was so taken by his style and his charisma. You know what? I like that. I'm gonna try that. Okay, and here I am today.
I've done a lot of college circuit speaking engagements, but then I realized, I'm more seasoned than you. I've been around longer. And I just noticed the trend. It was like they respond to the hip hop culture. And, that's not my thing. I'm more jazz, reggae, that kind of thing. But, you could be such an asset to the college community because young people are going to respond to your contribution to the hip hop history, but also to your business savvy, your manhood, your experiences. You're an author, you're a DJ, you're going to be doing your documentary. You have so much to pour in. We got to help our young men. They've got to be closer to people like you that are authentic, unapologetically who you are, and have made such a rich contribution to your generation and to the music industry. Because as you said, I mean, I've been all over the world, and it doesn't matter where you go, hip hop is there.
Hip hop is there. Hip
It's
hop
there.
is there.
It's there. So, hats off to you, man. Please make sure we get all your contact information. Do you have a website? Is there anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to?
Is LonzoWilliams.com with no A. Only time I use the A is when I'm getting a check. Other than that,
When you get a check.
I'm getting a check. If you're giving me a check, you got to put the A on it. But other than that, it's just Lonzo. This is my logo for my. I have a television network also. I'm promoting that right now. On the Roku platform, I have a television network called the Homegrown Media Network. You'll find a lot of my content on there. I have a YouTube channel, NWA Stories with Lonzo on YouTube. I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over everywhere. And like I said, if you want to contact me, Real Lonzo NWA at Gmail.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. This was so amazing. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit with me today. I would love for us to one time to do it in real life. In person, but right now we're doing the Zoom thing. We're not gonna miss the opportunity to get the message out there. So thank you so much.
I'm calling you for an interview next.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, darling. Thank you very much.
All right, God bless you. Stay in the light.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you everybody for watching Interviews with Jewel Diamond Taylor. Thank you so much for visiting all of my websites, my platforms, jeweldiamondtaylor.com, the Self-Esteem Doctor.com, and self-esteem is hyphenated, and womenonthegrow.org. If you'd like to start receiving my online newsletter, you can go to my website, jeweldiamondtaylor.com, and enter your text number, and you'll receive text alerts when I have new newsletters coming up. And you'll also learn about my upcoming YouTube channel, new editions. Every time I have an interview, it will go directly to YouTube, and you may see something there now that will really inspire you. Thank you so much for hitting the share button and sharing this interview with Lonzo Williams with your circle of friends and family. God bless you, and stay in the light.